Historical interlude. More history. Not in the syllabus, with good reason, but very interesting. We've already met two of the giants of mechanics, Galileo and Newton. Here are a few others who made important contributions to our understanding of gravity and the motion of the planets and the stars. Aristarchus of Samos, 310 to 230 BCE. Aristarchus deduced that the Earth orbited the Sun, but he did not observe parallax in the view of the stars. Normally, when we shift the point of view of the observer, the relative angles of objects is changed. Look at these two photos of the Scientia building at UNSW. And from a different point of view. Because we don't see this effect in the relative angles of stars, he deduced that the distance to the stars was vastly greater than the distance to the Sun. Aristarchus did not have a pet elk. Tycho Brahe, 1546 to 1601. Tycho had an artificial nose because, at the age of 20, he lost his real nose in a duel with swords over a mathematical formula. He set up an astronomical observatory on the island of Ven, between Denmark and Sweden, in spite of the climate not being ideal for astronomy. His detailed, precise data, gathered over many cold nights in the observatory, later allowed Kepler to make precise empirical models of the orbits of planets. Tycho had a pet elk, which drank too much Swedish beer, fell down the stairs and died. Johannes Kepler, 1571 to 1630. At the age of 6, Kepler saw the Great Comet of 1577. Later, he gave up a job as a maths teacher in Austria to become Tycho's apprentice. He inherited Tycho's superb set of data and, after much complicated analysis, fitted these data with his 3 laws of planetary motion. Kepler returned home to defend his mother, who was charged with witchcraft. He got her off. Kepler spent many years trying to relate the motions of the planets to geometrical relations and musical harmonies, which he supposed a divine creator would have done. However, when the data didn't fit his long-held theory, he abandoned that theory and many years of work. Kepler wrote his own epitaph. Mensus oram curlos nunc terrae meteor umbras, mens coelestis erat, corporis umbra jacet. I measured the skies, now the shadows I measure. Skybound was the mind, earthbound the body rests. There's no evidence that Kepler ever owned an elk. Albert Einstein, 1879 to 1955. Einstein was a brilliant school student who grew up to be an even more brilliant researcher. His father had a company making mechanical, electrical, and magnetic equipment. The company went broke because it favoured DC supply over AC. One of Einstein's several outstanding contributions to physics was reconciling electromagnetism with mechanics. Einstein played the violin and loved sailing. The Nazis confiscated Einstein's sailboat in Europe, but he acquired another one in America. Einstein never needed to own an elk.